Hello. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. I am so glad to be here, and I am so glad that it's Friday and that we are back on schedule. Thank you all for your patience with the Living Unfiltered core team as we have um, adjusted our scheduling a little bit last week into this week in order to have accommodated our leadership retreat. But when you see this live, come inside the room, come in here. I know it'd be auto playing the volume for you. You know what I'm saying? I know Facebook be auto playing the volume. Um you already heard it. You might as well don't scroll past. Don't scroll past. Don't don't scroll past, okay? Don't scroll past this conversation. Come in the room, okay? Come in the room. It's 9ish, 9ish. It is 9ish on Friday night. So you know what it is. It is Affirmation Friday. And I would love, love, love for y'all to come inside the room, invite your friends, tag your people, tag your homies. Matter of fact, while I'm here, I am also sharing. So don't mind me while I have you all looking at the side of my face. Even though Facebook on my laptop be acting a little weird sometimes, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll let her do her thing and be a little weird just for half a second, just for half a second, and then she's gonna get her life together. So we're not gonna, we're not gonna play games or anything like that. But this is the second time y'all seeing me in a week, and that's not normal, and that's all right, okay? But we are in here, and we are sharing this week's affirmation, and I'm trying to find. Where's the live? Facebook taking her sweet time. They taking their sweet time to load. Come on now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let me make sure I'm not missing any comments. There we go. Come on in the room, y'all. Okay, this week's affirmation, while Facebook gets its life together, as you can see going across the bottom of your screen here, is I am intelligent and capable. I am intelligent and capable. All right, Facebook, you acting a fool, and I really don't have time for your mess. So I will just go to the page myself. I will do it myself. All right. I am intelligent and capable. Open the doggone video. Because I don't want to fight, but I will. But I will. Okay. Finally. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. We are in here. We are sharing this to my story. We are in here and we are sharing it to our group. Let's share it to our community, the Living Unfiltered community. Y'all come in the room, say hello to me when you get in here, tag your people, tag your friends. And then we're going to share it to my public page as well. Just going to hit share now. Okay, now it's in all the places. And we're going to get rolling because I know it's Friday night. We're 4 minutes in. Y'all ain't trying to be here all day and all night. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be here all day and all night. Let me tell you something. Something very, very unique about this week. Your girl has been coming home from work. I don't work a very long day. But this week in particular, your girl has been coming home and knocking out. Like, eat dinner and fall asleep somewhere for many hours or for the night in general. Okay? I've been trying. I've been trying. Yesterday, I was up late, or I was not up late by normal people standards. I was up later. and late by my personal standards, because anybody that knows me well knows that I am a not a morning bird, not an early bird, and not a night owl. Okay, I don't fit in either of those categories. I am solidly a middle of the day bird. Okay, a middle of the day bird. And with that, anytime before or after, like starting something before or after 9 o'clock, 9:30 a.m. and p.m., like I got you. Like solidly between 9 and 9, like I got you. I can start something between 9 and 9. Outside of those hours, okay, I can only really offer you that I'm going to be around. Like I'll be there. I'll be there. The quality of my being there, can't speak for that. Can't speak for that. But I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? Like you need me at 6 a.m. dressed and in person, I'll be there. If it's for a contract, let me tell you something. I will turn into an early bird and have my makeup done by 6:30 in the morning. Let me tell you that. Okay? Let me tell you that. Okay? Because when I was in Vegas, your girl was beat and dressed and ready for a 7 a.m. call time. Okay? For my client. So it can be done. It can be done. But also, like, when that happens, my workday ends by 9 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm up at the crack of dawn, I don't need to be up all day. Um, Especially if I'm up and beat. I took the time and energy to eyebrows for you. Okay? To blush for you. Okay? To glow for you. To maybe not contour, but probably bronze for you. You know what I'm saying? Probably bronze for you. Um, but outside of that, the time passes and it's a wrap. Okay, I don't know what the Saints is all that, but we're gonna hurry up and get into it. Okay, so I am intelligent and capable. If you saw my post in our community, which I believe I also shared to our public page, if you saw my post, then you know that this is an affirmation that doesn't always come easy to everybody. It does not come easy to everybody. It is not something that comes naturally to everyone. And if one part comes naturally, the other one doesn't. Right? What do I mean by that? Hey Dana, you rock with me in here. You just in time. Um Usually when people have one when we have an affirmation that is doubled up like this, a lot of times people are like they hear it and they kind of like lightheartedly say it and then move on past, like we talked about on Monday, but they don't take time to really investigate what it is that they are saying. If we're declaring I am, then one of the biggest takeaways that I have taken away from the various teachings of the affirmations is that when I declare the words I am saying, like, it is the equivalent of and it came to pass. Okay? So for those of y'all that are new here, if you are catching this on the replay, if you have never heard of us before, hello, I am Jasmine Harris Packard. I am one of the co-leaders of the Living Unfiltered Collective. I am part of the core team, the four woman wonder team. Okay, let me tell you something. And this core team has built a whole community, but it is built from the foundations of Dr. Gabrielle Gibson, who is our founder and our leader's leader. Okay. But it is founded on the principles of that what I declare out of my mouth shapes the way that things play out in my life in its most basic form, right? We started the Living Unfiltered community because of an Unfiltered December challenge where we started by unfiltering our photos for 31 days and we ended up with a community where we are unfiltering our lives. Okay. So that is the bare bones basics. We are doing the worthy work of undoing the lies that we believe about ourselves and the things that were planted in us or that we've come to believe on our own, undoing those things in order to become who God has called us to be, who he says we already are. Okay. So now that I have done that minor intro, this week's affirmation is I am intelligent and capable. And when I want to know what your thought, like, how do you feel about your, like, yourself? Because, and I'm asking you for a check-in right now. Let me tell you something right now. I'm asking you for a check-in right now because I posted a check-in on Wednesday and I peeped how y'all didn't pull up in here and give a check-in. You didn't check in at all this week. And that was, I, I'm not saying my feelings was hurt. They wasn't hurt, but I just noticed. I just noticed. You know what I'm saying? Just took note. I just took note that nobody checked in on Wednesday. So I want to know how you're doing with this affirmation. What has been your takeaway in processing through this affirmation? And I'm not judging you for not checking in. I'm not judging you for not checking in. Don't look. Don't get in your feelings. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. But we want to know that we're actually that y'all are seeing what we're talking about. Really is what we want to know, that you're seeing what we're talking about, and that the algorithm isn't just playing in our faces. Okay. But we also want to know. We want to know, like, we are very much so invested in our community and very much so invested in the growth and healing and development of our people. And so, I encourage you that when you see those check-ins on Wednesdays, engage in the comments. If you hadn't gotten into the affirmation yet, it's fine to get started then. When you see the check-in, you're like, oh my gosh, that's right, I forgot about that thing. Or, like, if you're like me and you just be forgetting that things exist sometimes. I'm just saying. Sometimes I be forgetting. I be forgetting so much. Well, excuse me. Let me be mindful of my language, right? Because we're minding our mind and minding our mouth. I have an excellent memory. I have an excellent memory. I am a master at remembering and having capacity. But this week's affirmation is I am intelligent and capable. And this one, like many affirmations that I share, are ones that leapt off the page for me. It leapt off the page for me. And it leapt off for a couple of reasons. One, because when I first heard this affirmation, it made me weep. Okay? It made me weep. This is one of our starting 6. This affirmation is part of the OG affirmations. It is one of the affirmations that was given to our leader when she was going through her own journey with the Lord, and he began to declare things over her and line them up with, and show her in the word where these scriptures come from. I mean, where these affirmations come from, right? So when she shared that affirmation of I am intelligent and capable, for me, a person who did not believe that to be true about themselves at the time, when I first heard it, I started declaring it. Like, I started sitting in the mirror and just doing the starting 6, like, I am intelligent and capable. What I do not know, excuse me, what I do not know, I am able to learn. Right? And getting into this affirmation, and not me looking, I'm hot. It's hot right now. And my face, like, a little bit my face is hot. It's kind of pink like my shirt. uh, but hearing this affirmation for the very first time, I was like, I'm saying it, but I didn't believe it for real. And I wanted to share with y'all my testimony tonight, um, and then give you some definitions, because I think that we hear words like intelligence and capable, and we often think that um, it just means smart. It just means able-bodied, right? Um, but there's so much more to these words. And let me tell you something. When you pull up definitions for some words, like when you pull up the definition for intelligent, make them drop down the rest of the definitions, because how dare y'all give me 4 to 5 definitions that have the word in it in order, talking about intelligent or intellect as part of the word. I'm like, no, 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 define it. No, 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 define it. Okay. But when you're looking for definitions, I want you to give a I want you to, when you see that little triangle at the bottom that's like there's more below, click on that and let them give you a right answer. Make them give you a right answer. Okay. So I want to know how you do with the affirmation. You can drop that in the chat as you go, as you come in, and tag your people while you're here. You know what I'm saying? Like, just tag your people while you're in here. You know what I'm saying? Don't keep it to yourself. And it says I have 3 people in here, and I think one of them is me. Because I was sharing. But I want to share with you all my testimony, because I truly, truly, when I tell you that, like, these affirmations and this worthy work is work that I've been doing since it was introduced to me years ago. This affirmation, among many others, but this affirmation paired with what I do not know, I am able to learn. Those 2 affirmations hit me in a way I did not know that they could hit me, simply because I did not get a formal education. Whoop, whoop, shout out to your girl who's getting her degree in June now. Boop, 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 boop. But for the majority of my adult life, I have not had a formal education, right? And I found learning to be a bit more complex than I initially thought it was. I thought I was just a bad student who couldn't do assignments and couldn't keep up with homework and couldn't, who just needed more than what school was trying to offer to me. And some of those things that I really struggled with took a toll on my way that I viewed myself. They took a toll on the way that I saw my ability to process information and learn new skills. They took a toll on the way that I saw myself and valued my intellect. And I really genuinely, for a period of time, believed that I was not smart or that I was not intelligent. I was like, even if I was like, oh, I'm smart in this way or smart in that way, I have excellent spatial intelligence when it comes to placing things and playing like Tetris. But then it wouldn't be consistent across the board, because my spatial intelligence, as far as like my physical, it's not called spatial intelligence when we're talking about the body. Um, there's a there is a particular name for it, but it's more like a spatial awareness when we're talking about our physical person, right? And so my spatial intelligence comes in fantastically when it's time to go into someone's chaos of a closet and organize all of it into designated areas with, specific piles, drawers, shelves, hanging sections, everything put to order, because spatial intelligence and because of the gifting that God has given me for organizing spaces like that. People look at them, they see chaos. I come in, I see it, and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what to do with this space. And I do it usually in 3 to 6 hours. And you've been looking at it like it's crazy for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the gifting that I have. But when it came to my own body and my navigating my own spaces, like, bro, I'm pretty sure I have a bruise right there by tomorrow, because I just hit my forearm on a doorknob. Okay? Like, and it's stuff like that that would happen all the time, right? It would be people taking complex concepts and being able to diversify those things and teach them all over the place. And I didn't think that my way of doing that was the same. Like, I didn't think that I had that same gifting. So I just thought, I don't do it like them. So obviously, like, I'm struggling or lacking or something. And what actually was happening was I didn't believe myself to be intelligent, and and therefore that converted into I didn't believe myself to be capable, especially if it came to intellectual tasks or intellectual labor. Um, it's part of the reason why I had and I say had as in the past tense because I am actively like we talked about on Monday, right? I am actively overhauling my resume right now so that I can go into an industry that I've never been in and take all of my skills from the past and bring them into somebody's office. But like, because I didn't believe myself to be very intellectual, I believed that I was therefore incapable of doing work that paid more because it was not a physically laborious job, but it was more of an intellectually, mentally, emotionally laborious job. And I had relegated myself to, excuse me, relegated myself to just jobs that were like hands-on, physically laborious, require something of me physically, like I'm picking this up and moving it, I'm organizing, I'm doing the things. Now granted, I love to organize, I love organizing people's spaces, especially when it makes them sigh of relief at the end. Okay, it gives me the good feels. Okay. um but when I believed that I was unintelligent, I also believed that I was incapable. There are some of y'all that don't believe that you're unintelligent, that you believe that you are, in fact, highly intelligent. You are very, very smart. But there's some part of you that doesn't believe that you're capable. And there's some of you that believe that you're capable if only you had the intellect to supply that. And there's some of y'all that believe, okay, I am intelligent and capable, and I've worked really hard to be okay with that. And I've worked really hard to overcome the feelings of inadequacy. And I'm actively working really hard to not go back to that place where I imposter syndrome myself out of opportunities and out of blessings and out of increase and out of overflow and out of open doors and out of relationships and out of friendships and out of, let me tell you something. It shows up in so many different ways, right? Because there are times where you're going to find yourself in conversations where you're surrounded by people that are all talking about something that they know about. And you're like, I don't really know anything about this. And it can be a temptation to believe that you are not at all suited for that conversation because of a lack of ability or a lack of intellect. But before I dig any deeper, before I go any further, let me read off some definitions for y'all. And I'm gonna try and hold this charger because it is right hanging off the edge of the bed. If it goes, it's gone. Okay. So to define intelligent, okay, intelligence is an adjective. Okay. Intelligence, it says having intelligence, having a high degree of intelligence, which is like, don't play in my face. Define the word. Um, Mentally acute, showing sound judgment and rationality, appealing to the intellectual. My favorite one so far, endowed with the faculty of understanding or reason. What word do you think is my favorite in that definition? Okay. Endowed with the faculty of understanding or reason. Okay. Endowed is my favorite word in that definition. And why is endowed your favorite part of that definition? Because endowed means that it's something that is given. It is something that is given, which inherently implies that there is that we are not just self-sufficient, self-created beings, but that we are created and therefore gifted every good and perfect thing, right? That God, every good and perfect thing comes from the Father, right? It comes from our true and living God. It comes from the only one who can create whole human beings and give them the intellectual the ability to understand and reason, the faculties of understanding and reason have been given to us. On to the next definition. To define capable. Capable, adjective, having capacity or ability, efficient and able. Having the ability required for a specific task or accomplishment, qualified. Having the inclination or disposition of. Permitting an action to be performed. Possessing ability, qualification, or susceptibility. Having capacity or sufficient size or strength. Possessing adequate power, qualified, able, fully competent. Okay. And then it goes on to like legal terminology, which is like possessing legal power and capacity. Okay. When we talk about being intelligent and capable, we are talking about attributes that are either given or learned. Do you know what that means? Like, first of all, the example that they give underneath the my favorite definition of intelligent, the example they give is man is an intelligent being. I don't know why I read it like that, but it just felt like that was the right tone. Excuse me. That felt like that was the right tone. You know what I'm saying? Like, man is an intelligent being. Um, but when I think about those things, like intelligence is something that is endowed. It is something that is in us to be. It is in our nature to be. Even when people have processing skills, they have communication skills, they have speech impediments, or they're born with a variety of disabilities, we are still all created with intelligence. We're given the ability, the faculty, this particular element of being able to understand and reason. Intelligence is varying degrees of being able to understand and reason. Can you understand and can you reason? That is all intelligence is. But when we are stuck in a place where we're not consistently declaring over ourselves, like we can say to a baby, right? Like, I don't want them to ever think that they're not smart enough, so I just say over them, like I declare over them, you are intelligent and capable. Hey Jabrea, when I see a small child or I see a baby and I'm like, you are intelligent and capable, and I'm going to declare this thing over you, because I want you to have this inherent knowledge that you have been endowed with the faculty of understanding and reason. And it's really as simple as that. It's not some hyper complex term where we have to shroud it in ambiguity and weirdness and make it hard to understand. Intelligence, intellect, and to be intelligent are very simple ways of saying that you have been endowed with the faculty to understand and reason. What happens is the enemy comes in and plays the comparison card and tries to get us to feel like, oh, I don't know as much about this topic as this person. I don't know as much about that topic as that person. I don't know, I don't know enough to engage in this conversation. You always have something to be able to contribute to any conversation. Now, do you have work on your timing, right? Work on your timing. Don't just blurt out whatever you think comes to mind, when somebody happens to be like, the way to eat elephant is one bite at a time. And you're like, fun fact, did you know that elephants, like, that's not the time. You know what I'm saying? That's not the context. Stay in the context. Stay in the context and make a connection. And you'll be fine. It's fine. You don't have to know everything that someone else knows. And your level of intelligence does not dictate, or I shouldn't say not your level of intelligence. And let me not put myself on do not disturb right now, because I should have did it before and I should have known better, but we here now. Your intelligence is not, it's not based on whether you show up in a room like someone else or whether you participate like someone else. Your intelligence is based off of the fact that you were endowed. Like, that is the definition of intelligent, right? And that, I'm sticking with the one. I know there's a lot, but I also know that there's a lot of them that use the word in the definition. And for me, that don't count. Sorry, that does not count. We are going with the definition that says endowed with the faculty to understand and reason. So when you're wondering if you're smart enough to enter into a room, know that you have already, at your birth, at the design of you in your mother's womb, you are already given. To be endowed with something is to be given that thing. You've already been endowed with the ability to understand and reason so that you can go into any room you're invited into and belong there. Or go into any room that the Lord sends you in and belong there. And allowing that to be the lens with which we see ourselves and the way that we see the world and the way that we understand what God is calling us to. He's not calling you to that assignment because he wants to embarrass you. He's calling you to that assignment because in the case of intelligence, he's already gifted you with what you needed to enter into that space. And maybe you need to add some skills or some extra knowledge, but your intelligence is never the question. Your ability to understand and reason is never the question. The question is, do you have a particular skill set for that? Which is where capable comes in, right? It's not under it's not under the umbrella of defining intelligence. Sometimes, if you don't know enough, it's not about your intelligence. It's about capability. It's about growing your knowledge so that you can be capable of XYZ. I don't know why I just heard the British version of Z in my head where it's just like Z. But I just heard it yesterday, I think, and I thought it was great. I mean, I forgot. I forgot that that's how they say it, but I like it. It's fun. But the definitions that we're working with in capable, there's so many of them. But having capacity or ability, efficient and able. Like Jabrea said, I am intelligent and capable, something starting to declare over myself. Being a person who has alphabet soup of learning differences, I feared folks would notice and make assumptions of my capacity. Child, we all do. Let me just tell you, you're not by yourself. That is absolutely a factor, and I relate. I relate. You're not by yourself, sis. We gonna talk about it. Okay. But when we're talking about the ability, the capable part of I am intelligent and capable, there is a part of like there is when earlier in this teaching, right, I started saying like there was a part of me that believed that because I didn't think myself as knowledgeable, that I thought myself incapable as well. That I thought that, oh, well, I'm engaging in these conversations and I feel like I'm not adding anything, or I'm not, nobody seems to be responding. And like, I was like, well, I want positive, I want some positive, I want some positive feedback. I want people to be like, oh, wow, that's deep. Oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I never thought about it that way. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I believed that my ability to engage in those conversations was limited because I didn't think that I was smart enough. I didn't think that I was intelligent enough. And then I also, in my work life, thought, and I grew up with, and it's not something I just pulled out of thin air. I grew up with the language in my household of paper pushers make more money. Like that was just like that was the thing that it was like, it was essentially to say like, in order, if you want to make good money, you have to be a person who sits at a desk and does nothing besides push papers. um but then like college and degrees and things like that were things that were like, that's optional, like that's cool, like, high school is mandatory but college is optional, so you get to decide, right? And then going into the workforce with your high school diploma, there's only but so much that you can do, unless you have a niche, a skill of some kind, right? Like right now, it's like, oh, if you only have a high school diploma, it's now I shouldn't say only. If you have a high school diploma, but you're a content creator, you probably making bank, and that's a lot of work, right? It and it may be physically laborious, it may be mentally, emotionally, creatively laborious. But in my house, it was like, you should do a job that like you can tangibly say like, I physically did this thing. But there was no push to get specialized education in any way, whether that was a degree or a trade or a certification of any kind. It wasn't any of those things. And the trouble was that I believed that my intellect paired with what I believed myself capable of meant that the only jobs that I was going to be good at were going to be things that were physically laborious, that I wasn't going to be able to do a job that was intellectually challenging, or that was going to require me to manage people, or to manage clients, or to manage patients, or to manage, you know what I'm saying? Like, or to care for the overall health and wellness of a company. I did not know that I was gonna, I was gonna actually, like, I talked about as a kid, I would be like, I want to be a business owner. I want to be a business owner. People were like, what kind of business you want to own? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out. I want to own a business. I'm gonna be a business owner. And I am now. I am in fact a business owner. Shout out to Thrive Assistance. um, but I did not know that that was something that was going to be in my wheelhouse when I was working through my own experience with this affirmation. When I first started with this affirmation, the reason why I used the wording that I used in the post, where I was like, yell this affirmation over yourself to jolt your system. This is an affirmation that if anything in you is trying to tell you, if the enemy is trying to tell you that you are not either of these things, this is an affirmation. If there is any affirmation that you need to yell over yourself to jolt yourself into the right mindset or into the right place, to jolt your system into believing the truth, it's this one. There was a time when I did not believe these things. And so when I started saying the affirmation, I stood in a power pose, hands on my hips, like, I can't do it right now, but like hands on my hips, my hands like in a fist on my in my waist, a power pose. Make yourself big, make yourself large, stand in the mirror and yell out, I am intelligent and capable. 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 And I would put emphasis on every single one of those words, usually in the same words, like I am intelligent and capable. 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 Like, that is how I would declare it over myself. And there was a period of time after I started to really like yell it. And the value of yelling it is not in the volume per se, but it is in one, getting out of the comfort zone that tells us that we need to be a particular volume or show up a particular way. We can only say things at a particular thing. And we're in a society that is so judgy that we start to judge ourselves before we even get the words out. We're in a society that wants to judge every little thing, cancel everybody for every little thing. Cancel culture is like, you know what I'm saying? They're going crazy with it. America closing down TikTok and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just craziness. You know what I'm saying? It's just craziness. It's just a lot. But we live in a society that's like, no, don't get too loud, don't say too much, don't get like. And if you grow up in a very strict household, you better not be yelling in this house. You better not be yelling. You better not be slamming doors. You better not be raising your voice. And you certainly better not be screaming in a room by yourself for no reason. We're not doing that anymore. We're not hiding. Get comfortable with the sound of your own voice. Get comfortable with the full range of your volume. And not because you are angry or upset, or like in Jabria's case, she's a teacher, where she has to raise her voice to get these littles to hear her when they're having a variety of emotional breakdowns. Okay? Where Dana is taking care of her baby and her bigger baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's momming. And she may feel like, raising my voice only happens when I'm frustrated, or when my child is far enough away that I have to yell to him in order to get his attention to have him come run back over here. Like, get comfortable with the full range of your voice. I think that is part of the seeing ourselves as capable, is to know that when you take up space, it's okay. To know that you are in fact capable, able, and what you don't already do or know or whatever. There's another affirmation that comes right behind this that says, what I do not know, I'm able to learn, right? But with this one, we're talking about having capacity or ability, efficient and able. If you don't have capacity, you need to assess your capacity. Assess your skill set. If there's something you want to do that's not already in your wheelhouse, the blessing of being capable and having capacity is your ability to learn and expand your range of capability. Expand your range, right? There's nothing, if we've already established that the intelligence that we have was endowed to us, it was given to us by our God. It was given to us so that we could fulfill our assignment here in the earth, so that we would be different from animals. Intelligence is endowed. It is gifted to us. Do everybody tap into it? Maybe not. Sometimes, what is it? Intelligence or wisdom has been chasing you all your life. You've been faster. I heard that twice today. Once as a quote from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and once as a creative way that Nigerians will tell you that you're not using your smarts. And I thought it was the funniest thing. And then to hear it twice, I was just like, oh, this is hilarious. But as a rule of thumb, our intelligence is gifted to us. It's almost like, well, I was gonna say, like, it's like a flat rate. It's given to you when you're born. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are, as a species, an intelligent species. You are born intelligent. You were designed intelligent. Your God, when he formed you, from the time he formed Adam and Eve in the garden, all the way down to you, he has been working intelligence since the very first person. He has been in gifting intelligence since the very first person. So to say, once we get that part down, is a matter of understanding that one of these is given, and then we have a level of capability that comes from that. And then as we build on our knowledge base, like your knowledge base is the place in between your intelligence and your capability, right? Like your knowledge base is that place in the middle. If you don't know something, like you can learn. You can learn, and you have the ability to learn. You may learn differently. You may need more time to learn. You may need a different breakdown, but you can learn, and you're capable of it because you are an intelligent being, because you were designed with intelligence in mind. God did not say, I don't know what just happened. Literally was not touching my laptop and it pushed me backstage. I don't know what happened, but I'm still here. Apologies. Don't know what's going on with that. Satan, don't be mad because I'm exposing your lies. You can be mad. You can stay mad. But when we're talking about your ability to learn, you can. You can, and you can because God gave it to you. So it is for you to learn, and you're capable because God empowers you and builds you up and emboldens you to a place where you're able to function according to the assignment that God has given you. Like he increases your capacity, like another affirmation of ours, he increases your capacity according to your call. So if there is a knowledge gap between where you are now and where that increased capacity, it's just a matter of learning. If you don't know, you can learn. And what you learn, you practice. And then as you practice it, you become more proficient. And then it becomes like, I just know how to do this. I just am this. I just do this. I just know this. Right? So you are capable. I want you to declare it loudly. Loudly. I am intelligent and capable. I am intelligent and capable. I am intelligent and capable. Now, just so we know, we are building up our repertoire, right? So when you are declaring this at first, it's going to be like a throwaway. Like you're probably not, it's not going to be a throwaway. Let me be mindful of my words. It's not going to be a throwaway. It's going to be something that you're like, yeah, I am intelligent and capable. It's kind of like a matter of fact thing. And then the more that you say it, something in you, if anything in you is out of alignment, much like most of these affirmations, if anything in you is out of alignment, it will start to like rise up and waver and question a little bit. It will like get a little shaky in there. And the more that you declare it, you kill that thing until you realize, and until the realization that the intelligence, the gifting that has been endowed to me from God from the time that I was created, that is the thing that is true. Like it becomes more real, and what you have access to becomes more tangible. Okay. um so don't stop declaring this affirmation just because the week is done, just because it's Friday and we're on a new affirmation on Monday. Take this with you, layer upon layer. Okay, layer these affirmations. Do this worthy work. This is one of those affirmations that if you need to yell it over yourself to jolt yourself out of this ungodly belief that you're not intelligent or capable, you need to yell it over yourself. This is one of those things that's like, it's deep down in the inside. We don't really talk about it. So it just kind of lies low or whatever. This is an affirmation that if you scream it, it jostles some things up inside of you, right? Like it starts to move some things around in you and makes it come up to the surface and be like, oh, do I actually believe this about myself? Much like all of our affirmations. All right. Okay. I'm going to let y'all know right now. We have our major announcement coming out in April. Okay? Okay? Stay tuned. Keep your eyes open because as soon as April drops, we coming at you. And we're not letting up. We're not letting up. I'm telling you that now you know. You know what I'm saying? You know. There's no surprises. No shock. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So here are your announcements. And don't you dare close this video while I'm talking to you. All right. Here are your announcements. I just wanted to be dramatic. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so we have new forms that are going to help our community engage with us and help us to engage with you better and more efficiently. We have folks that like everybody in our community is worthy of celebration, and we want to be able to celebrate you. So we have celebration and birthday forms. Like that is one form, celebration and birthday. You insert your birthday one time and it will be documented in order to be properly celebrated, posted for, all those things, right? But also, if you have a celebration of some kind coming, some accomplishment, some success that you have had, some good story, some testimony that you want to share, some celebration that you want us to acknowledge, you're getting a certification, getting a degree, you're going back to school, you just had a kid, all of the things. You're building up your business. You just passed a certain financial goal within your business or within your family goals. Put that celebration in there. We want to celebrate you. We want to celebrate your successes with you. Okay, so fill out the celebration and birthday form. We also have a form for you to fill out to volunteer. We need volunteers. This is an all call for volunteers. Okay, of course we're going to make sure that you like see that your skills and abilities are aligned with what works best for what is needed, right? So if you're like, I'm not tech savvy, we're not going to put you over social media. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're like, I'm not really gifted with writing the words, we're not going to put you over writing copy. You get where I'm going, right? We're going to try and fit you where your gifting is, okay? And there's no shame in any of these things because we need all of them, okay? We also have a prayer request and deliverance form. We are having deliverance private. It's not going to be on Facebook. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's going to be private. You will be receiving, if you sign up, you will then be receiving a link to a private one-on-one video conferencing, whether that is Zoom or Google Meets or whatever it is. Okay. But it's going to be private so that you can have one-on-one sessions with a deliverance minister to walk you through your healing and your freedom. Okay. Walk you into your freedom. Okay. So whatever that thing is that's been holding you hostage and you want to be free from it, fill out the deliverance form. Fill out the prayer request and deliverance form so that we can be able to properly minister to you. Okay. So that's the first announcement is all of our forms, celebration, volunteering, deliverance, and prayer requests. Okay. We want to break you through. Don't get stuck in bondage just because you're nervous. Okay. There's nothing to be afraid of. We're just trying to get you free. And we just want to walk you through it. That's all. So you don't have to do it by yourself and wonder if it worked. Okay. 2x2 is still going on. It might not be February, but we still bringing them. We still bringing the folks in 2x2. We still going out and ministering to people 2x2s. Bring your people. We do not want to keep the power of these affirmations, the gift of these affirmations, gift and power of this worthy work, we don't want to keep that to ourselves. We're not trying to hoard it to ourselves. Okay. We want to invite our people. So invite your friends, your family, your cousin and them, the people you don't really talk to too much, but you think they could benefit from this work. Like, or you're unsure of the benefit from this work, but you just want to be like, you know what, I'm inviting people. So just invite, you can go into our community, and our members of the community are allowed to invite people. So you can, in fact, invite folks. Okay. Um, Also, next affirmation. I mean, affirmation. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Wake up, brain. Um, so if you have a favorite affirmation, or you just love the impact that our community has had in your life, we are asking you to submit a 30 to 60-second testimonial of sharing, where you are sharing the impact of these affirmations and this community in your life. And because we would love to hear from you. And it also is, it's not just for us to keep in the archives to be like, to, woo, 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 it makes us feel better. But it's super beneficial to be able to submit those testimonials when it's time for reaching out to partners and funding and um, uh, uh, sponsorship programs and grants and things like that, right? Like, that is super beneficial to us as a ministry, to be able to have your experiences shared with us, so that we can be able to, like, here is the impact, here are a couple of the faces, or here are a few of the faces from our community that have been impacted by this work, and we will let them tell it for themselves, right? Okay. Last announcement. The Queen G, how am I calling it? The Queen G, help me Jesus, help me Jesus. Read, Jasmine. Reading is fundamental. Let's just read it. I was reading the end of the Linktree link. Help me. Okay. The official unfiltered devotional and workbook. Okay. The official unfiltered, and you can see it right up here, right in this little box right here. The official Living Unfiltered devotional and workbook is available for pre-order. If you have not ordered your copy, what is you doing? This is work that has been highly requested, demanded over the years, where folks were like, I just need something in my hand. I just want to take this work home with me. I just want to feel like I have y'all in my house with me, more than just when you're going live. Like, I want to be able to sit with this thing and have something tangible in my hand. And that is this workbook, the official unfiltered devotional, I almost said deliverance, devotional and workbook. The official unfiltered devotional and workbook. It is available for pre-order. You still have an opportunity to order one of the 3 packages that we have available. So don't get caught up in, I'm just going to wait until it comes out, because if you wait until it comes out, one, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to, for sure, be able to get a virtual or in-person show, poetry show, an in-person event. I don't say poetry show, in-person event, because it's an unfiltered devotional. So obviously, our founder, the Dr. Gibson, would be in your space and place, virtually or in person, depending on what your area most requires. Um, and we can't guarantee that we're going to be able to add extra dates to the books if you wait until it's already out. That's the benefit of pre-ordering, is that you have early access to things. You also have early access to being able to get merch. You have early access to, and it's not just all of the pre-orders. Let me be mindful, because if you pre-order just the book, you pre-order just the book. But then there's also a couple of other tiers where you get early access to merch, and then you also, on the other side, you get early access to merch, as well as an in-person or virtual show, an event. Okay, an event just for you, and just for your area, and we'll be able to pick out dates. If you haven't already shared that you want this event to come to your particular area, don't get mad when we don't come to your area. Don't be upset. when we don't pull up in your neighborhood, okay? Express your interest, because cities are expressing their interest, and we don't want to skip over you if we do not have to. Okay. That is it for your announcements, your church announcements. Govern yourselves accordingly. I don't know why I feel like I should say it like that, but that was fun. That is it for our announcements. I encourage you to continue to declare this affirmation over yourself, to announce it over your life, to declare it over your mind and over your heart and over your hands, even, so that you can know what kind of advancement you have in these areas of your intelligence and your capability. You are not lacking just because you don't show up like other people do. You're not missing anything. You just need to know. You just need to know. And when you declare it, then you see it. You say what you heard so you can see what is said. Okay? Declare those things. Okay? So that is it for tonight. Thank you so much for hopping on. Pass this around to your people. Let them know that you are thinking about them and that you want them to have these skills and these abilities. You want them to be a part of this community. We want them here. If you are new here, we want you here. We want to do life with you. We want to build with you and heal and encourage and walk this thing out with you. We do sisterhood here, and we do it really well, to be quite honest. I would say I'm not going to toot my own horn, but we do too. Okay, we do sisterhood really well over here, and we want you here, and it matters to us that you are healed and whole, and that you know who you are according to what God says about you. So thank you for coming in. Have an amazing weekend, and we will pick up on Monday with our next affirmation from Takesha Glidden. So thank y'all so much for popping up, popping in, pulling up on us, and we will see you next time. Bye.